What's up, guys? Brent Hess here with Cagezilla Unchained, brought to you by the Wild Style Network. We are here with one of our exciting athletes coming up on Cagezilla 85, June 28th. Make sure you guys are in the building for this one. This is going to be a Boonchu fight, and we'll talk a little bit more about Boonchu here in a sec. But let's go ahead and welcome Erik Aguilar to Cagezilla Unchained. Erik, how you doing today, my man? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, let's get right into it. Give us a little background on yourself, maybe a little of your upbringing, and let the audience have a chance to get to know you a little bit, and kind of ultimately what led to combat sports for you.
So I was born and raised in Maryland. And really what happened in high school, football coach came up to me in the hallway and he was like, "Hey, I need somebody to make 103 pounds. You want to wrestle? You want to join the wrestling team?" And literally just grabbed me right from my shoulder. He's like, "You want to join the wrestling team?" And that man changed my whole life. He's one of the reasons why I'm still competing, still work out. His name was Rob Wendell. I think he's still alive. Rob, yeah, he's around somewhere, but definitely impacted a lot of high schoolers' lives in the Montgomery County area. Helped all of us out. Brought us into wrestling, showed us what it really was to be a hard worker, and that kind of molded me to where I'm at now. I'm 33 years old, so back in 2010, I went to college, and out in college is where I first hit my bag for the first time. I kicked the bag for the first time, and at the time, MMA was crazy, and somebody told me, came up to me, one of my mentors back in the day, said, "Listen, this is a good sport, but there's no money in it right now. Focus on a career." And then he's like, "In 10 years, the sport is going to pop." Sure enough, that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
So I've always stayed in shape, worked out, everything like that. And then COVID happened. And during COVID, I was watching all the striking. And one thing I was noticing was the pool of fighters that they had at the time, since lockdowns were happening, was very small.
Mm.
And I was looking at it and I'm like, man, I can do this. Like, I have a good job, I have a good career. This isn't a pride thing. This is me just being like an old wrestler that's like, you know what? I still got it in the tank. Let me see how far I can take it. That's honestly what it is. Like, then I went to the only Muay Thai gym that was open, which is right up the street from me. Went in there, had a good coach, Coach Rob. Eventually, he told me, "Hey, your talents are exceeding. You should keep going. If your dreams want to go up higher, just, you should go see other coaches, see where it's going." And then I met up with a good group of friends, and we ended up traveling to Thailand together. And after that, everybody kind of split off. And now Greg has known me for a couple years through the past gym where I was at, and now we're training together. But I've been to Thailand in the last 26 months, like 4 times.
Wow.
I keep going back. Yeah. Keep going back and forth. I have friends out there, gyms out there. It's really good. It's a good experience. And basically, I've been training for 5 years now, and I've been in the amateur circuit for about two.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really it. Right now in my career, I'm just trying to fight as many times as I can. So that's really what it is. Like, this Boonchu fight is something that is really interesting to me, and it's something I've always wanted to do because, like I said, I have a wrestling background, so MMA is cool. I don't know if I'll ever transition to MMA because I respect those guys. Like, that's just a lot of injuries. But Muay Thai is just interesting to me because, for me, striking is an art.
Yeah.
Striking is a big art. And Western style, we like to smash people, just pop, 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 pop. But then when you go overseas, you see people like half your size, and they can manhandle you with
Mm.
just style, defense, swagger, composure, and then they have no emotion. They just foo foo foo, and then they're laughing the whole time. So once you see that, you start getting open to like a whole new realm of this art, or at least I did.
Yeah.
And then since then, like Greg, to be honest, like my coach, he's very like, the one thing I like about him, he's very open minded, and he has a Taekwondo background, and he's done boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, various arts.
Hmm.
Yeah, various arts. So he actually assisted me with changing up my style too. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're Muay Thai, but like let's add this, let's add that, let's add this, let's add some more striking." So the last 18 months, I've just been focusing strictly on boxing. I have been
Mm.
doing Muay Thai fights, but I've just been strictly focusing on studying boxing. Literally, because my style is a punch style. I'm a punch style fighter.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, definitely. I've just been focusing on boxing. I ended up falling in love with boxing too, so I might do some boxing exhibitions, do some of
Hey.
those. See how that
Yeah.
goes. Yeah.
We have a big boxing event this Saturday, Champions League boxing, man. We're gonna have to get you in on a little
I mean,
Champions
I'm
League
like
boxing.
155 right now. If you need somebody, I'll slide in there too. I'm being honest with you. I am down
Okay.
to get exposure. I
I love
love the
it.
sport completely. It's
I love
great.
it. I love it, man. And
You know.
I mean, man, you go into Thailand being in pretty much the garden of Muay Thai and where it started. And I mean, that must have opened your eyes really to the sport. It sounds like you gained a lot of insight going over there. What other things can you give us insight wise on what you learned over there? Because I know I've been there before too, and I've
Yeah.
been to Limpini Stadium, and I've seen guys
Okay.
compete like
Yeah.
the real Thai fighters, and man,
Yeah.
it was a big eye opening thing for me. Tell us a little bit about that, man. I want to know a little bit more.
So the funniest thing about when I went to Thailand, I just went not even as a fanboy. I didn't really know any fighters. I just knew I like fighting. I like striking. Muay Thai is interesting. Let me go.
Yeah.
So we all went after lockdowns ended. It was the first Songkran in April, which one is the hottest season in Thailand. These
Mm.
it's like 95 to 110 for 2 months. No rain, and if there is rain, it's like a quick storm, and that's about it. That's all you get.
Wow.
It's so hot that they have like Songkran Festival. It's a water festival. It's a Buddhist holiday, but the whole festival becomes the biggest super soaker fest you've ever seen in your life. You'll see fire trucks shooting water at people, ice cold water. It's crazy.
Hey.
But when I went there, all the gyms are on holiday. So we arrived to FA Group in Bangkok, and I jump in the ring because they do clinching for 1 hour. First off,
Mm.
they run at like 6 in the morning. They go to you arrive at the gym, you get in the truck, they take you up to the park, you go run a 5 or 10K, whatever you can do that day. Then you come back, you train, you start off clinching for 45 minutes to an hour. And
Wow.
at the time when I arrived, I thought, okay, I'm a wrestler, I know clinching. Well, this guy comes up to me, he's half my size. At the time, I was like 170 pounds. This guy was like 115 pounds, or maybe 125. And he goes, "Hey, do you want to clinch?" This man throws me everywhere, slams me, all type of stuff, right? Next thing you know, he ends up being the best clincher in Thailand, Yotin
Wow.
FA Group. I
Wow.
had no idea, zero clue. I knew who he was after that,
Yeah.
and yeah, and that just opened my eyes. I was like, wow, like size, like doesn't matter, technique matters,
Yeah.
you know. And then when you go to these gyms, you spar with them, and then after you end up becoming kind of like a family with the gym.
Yeah.
Once they see that you're what level your interest is in, then they start trusting you, and the gym will start. They'll start seeing, oh, do you want to fight for us? Once you fight for the gym, they kind of like it. They'll
Yeah.
hold pads for you more. They'll give you more focus. But it ends up becoming like more of like a family thing. That's the
Mm.
nice part, I would say. But if you go over there, like get ready for a different type of climate. The Over there, it's very hot. It's
Yeah.
very, very hot. You're drinking electrolytes 24/7, water, like a couple of liters of water a day. Yeah, getting IVs and everything. But it's that bad because we're not used to it. At least I'm not. And my family's Salvadorian.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
first generation American, but I thought, okay, I've been to El Salvador. It's not that bad. No, it's worse. It's 10 times worse, honestly. Yeah, it's
No,
crazy.
no problem cutting weight over there, right?
Well, that's the thing. Actually, it's like a 50-50. It's different. So things, if you're not, you can. There is no problem cutting weight. After my fourth trip, I've definitely learned how to lean down over there.
Yeah.
However, the food over there is so delicious
The
that
good
it's
Thai
actually
food,
hard.
yeah.
I'm telling you, it's so hard. All the street food and everything's like affordable. You know, you can go up the street and say, oh, I can order this and that, or I can just grab something off a street cart, and next thing you know, it's full of sugar and you don't even know.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing about out there. But yeah, for the most part, if you're training and solid, I've seen some very lean athletes out there. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
fitness on point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
that's
But
the
me, I like the food. I like the food a lot.
yeah, I love Thai food as well, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's the cream of the crop out there, and what a great experience for you to have, and then bring it back to here where you live, and be able to display your skills, man. Because that kind of moves me into my next thing, man. You were the main event on our TCB, on our last TCB here, and that I saw you and I commentated your fight, and man, what a display, man. I really got to know you on that day. I hadn't really heard of you or seen you fight, but I can say that after that fight, man, I was like really, really impressed, and I was like, I was really just trying to get you, involved with Cagezilla somehow. And I think Bunchu was the way to go. And for those who don't know what Bunchu is, it's pretty much like Muay Thai fighting, stand-up fighting, no grappling, no takedowns, but with the little gloves of MMA. So really an exciting fight style, in my opinion. And I know, a lot of our Cagezilla staff, they love when we get Bunchu fights and everything going on here. Did you see any Bunchu in Thailand?
Well, yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of One Championship out there.
Okay.
So they do a lot. That's like the style, everything is stand up Muay Thai and 4 ounce gloves. And
Oh,
then, yeah, everything over there is stand up 4 ounce, at least in One Championship,
yeah.
unless you're doing kickboxing. So I watched a lot of that, and which is actually really interesting after my fight in March at TCB, because I actually had a title fight that I was supposed to have at another promotion, but it pulled out. Something the fighter ended up being injured. Um, so I was looking for a fight, and thankfully, you all were looking for somebody to fill that spot, and we had the same amount of matches, but it was one of those things that, like, I believe all the time that I put in, and then Greg and I just like were able to harness that energy.
Yeah.
And this fight was just like the perfect. I just needed something to show my skill, So thankfully, thanks to TCB for that opportunity. I greatly appreciate it
Yeah.
because right after that fight, immediately, yeah, we were talking, and I was like, oh man, like Boonshu would be cool. So
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you said go for it, I was like, all right, I'm going. I'm going with my boxing coach in Bangkok. Flew out to him and saw him for the last 3 weeks. So it
Oh,
was
you
pretty awesome.
did?
Yeah. I went to him in end of April, early May. Yeah,
Wow. Fresh off,
yeah. I went to
fresh
go see
off,
him.
fresh off the Thailand trip, coming right
Yep,
into Cagezilla 85 for your Boon
yep.
Chew fight, man. Man, your opponent better be prepared. And so, I guess speaking of that, you're on Cagezilla 85 here, June 28th, in an exciting Boon Chew fight. Our audience is really in for a big treat, I think, man. I mean, you are a really exciting fighter with the big gloves on, man. I don't know what to say when you got the little gloves on, man, because that's going to be nothing but fireworks. You were coming in heavy punches, some crazy elbows, and really kind of impose your will on your opponent there in the main event at TCB, man. And not to take anything away from him, because he was a good guy too. He was a good fighter as well,
Yeah.
had a lot of experience, but it didn't seem that way when you guys were in the ring together. Now you're moving into your Boonchu fight here against Zach Vincent, Honest Abe. He's kind of like a man, he's a staple around here in Cagezilla. He's fought for us quite a few times. He wears the big Honest Abe hat, and it looks like Abe Lincoln, man, and kind of has a thing going for him there. He's kind of won some, lost some, but he ultimately has come up on the short end of the stick, I think, in the submission category. Really in his MMA, because he's dabbled in MMA, kickbox, and Boonchu, and kind of done it all. And I think the stand up is where he likes and where he thrives. I mean, I know in his last fight he was like, man, I don't know what happened. I thought the guy was going to stand and bang with me, but he decided to take me down, take my back, and things like that. So, in an MMA fight, you got to expect things like that. But in a Boonshu fight, you're not going to be taking him down and taking his back, man. You're going to be standing and trading with him. Tell us what, if anything, I guess about Honest Abe coming into this one, and if anything at all.
Well, honestly, I've watched a couple of things. He's very vocal. He's very open on social media. So
Mm-hmm.
I've not really gone over it, but for one, I will tell you that like I respect him as a fighter. Honestly, anybody that's willing to get in the ring, like you have to respect them 100%. No matter if it's a wins or losses, that's one thing Thailand teaches you. When you go out there, they don't ask you your record; they ask you how many fights you have. So it's all out of respect.
Mm.
Honestly, he's a little bit crazy because he's fought a bunch of times in 4 ounces, you know. So I
Yeah.
give him respect for that. Like that's wild. Like that's really cool. So he's down to fight. The one thing that I have heard is that he doesn't care. He's like down for the experience,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, just how much I've heard that he I don't know exactly where he trains out of or self trained or something like that, but I'm kind of in the same scenario with him. I mean,
Yeah.
America is a little bit hard when it comes to finding gyms around your area, so I do understand that part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he has his own Honest Abe's Combat Academy, man. He trains himself, kind of self-trained, and he trains
Mm-hmm.
others as well. So definitely a guy with a lot of heart, a lot of tenacity, a willingness to get in there. Anybody, like you say, that gets in that ring has courage, right? Like there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
talk. There's a lot of people that talk about it, but how many people actually do go through all the steps of, training, all the grueling, training sessions, suffering in that sense, making weight, and then having to walk under the bright lights and shine under the bright lights, man. And so that does take a lot. Now, you were our main event in the last TCB that I saw you. And now you're coming into a big Cagezilla 85 card. Tell our audience who haven't seen you, our Cagezilla audience, I guess, tell us what they can expect to see from Erik Aguilar come June 28th, my man. What kind of energy you'll be bringing into fight day?
Personally, I get you won't see my energy really pop out until I'm walking out 'cause I'm very calm. But I will tell you that you're gonna get your money for it. That's it. I have 4 fights of the night in a row. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah, and that's overseas and here. Like I've I've showed out. I've had people tell me, hey, like you're very good. Don't you can keep continuing with your career.
Yeah.
So good energy, and I'm gonna tell you this that like I'm bringing the full clip. That's honestly
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
every single thing, I throw everything, and it's not. It's all calculated.
Yeah. That's
So
beautiful.
and 4 ounce gloves. There's a reason why I went to Thailand. Like ready to. I'm ready to just let these things go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
After having watched it overseas and everything, you must have a certain kind of energy inside that you just want to let it rip yourself. And
Yeah.
and man, you are not the feel out guy. Like
No.
in your
Mm-hmm.
last one that I commentated, I remember saying these guys, there's no feel out process. They're just coming right after each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
man, what an exciting fighter you are. I can't wait to see you in there. Now, I always like to collect a quote or a motto, here, and maybe something empowering that has influenced you, maybe shared by your coaches or something you've
Mm.
read, and you can kind of empower our audience here.
So one of the best quotes I've ever had said to me was from my wrestling coach when I was 13 or 14 years old, and I was trying to learn how to do like even I think it was like a single leg or something like that, and I kept putting my head on the outside instead of the inside or whatever it was. I forgot what it was, but the main point was he told me he goes, "Do you know what the definition of insanity is?" I was like, "No." And then he goes, and definition of insanity is doing the same thing wrong over and over again. And then I looked at him and I was like, huh? And he goes, listen, if you don't understand, ask. And if you can't get that answer, don't be scared to go somewhere else to ask. So
Yeah.
that's something that I've always done. And one thing I will say, anybody that's going overseas, find the gym that suits you. The one thing with overseas is we have a lot of Instagram, and you'll see this gym's popular, this gym's popular. You want to go find a fighter. I will say that I have traveled to a bunch of various gyms all over the country and seen them all, made friends with everybody, but find one that suits you, that you feel comfortable, and then trust yourself. That's honestly it. Just
Yeah.
trust yourself.
Yeah, I like that. Trust yourself, and
Yeah.
and I have heard that definition of insanity, just doing the wrong thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
over and over again. Yeah, and that
And
literally, I heard that when I was 13, 14, and it's helped me out a lot. Whenever I ever tried new things, I'm like, okay, I'm like, oh, this might not work for me. I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna go try a different outlet. You
right.
know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I mean, you on one side, it's like, you're fixing all those mistakes along the way. It looks like you've come a long way. But at the
yeah,
same time, you kind of always want to be a student, too, right? You want to always kind of
a
be
hundred
learning and,
percent.
and, and always kind of have that white belt mentality.
Exactly. No, that's definitely it. You never know too much because there's always somebody that knows like one little thing. Even
Yeah.
when I went on this last trip, my whole style changed from my last fight.
Yeah.
So everything changed. My punch changed. My kicks have changed. And it's little things that I've learned from coaches out there that are like, okay, this works, but we saw some of your footage. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
And it's just little things like that. As long as you're open minded, you can go very far.
I love it, man. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Erik, give us a way we can follow your journey, man. Literally, your journey is traveling all over the world. It seems like. Give us a
Yeah.
way. Give us a way we can follow your journey, whether that be your social medias, your team's social
Okay.
medias, and whatever you got, man.
So you can follow Greg on GMAC, on Greg's Martial Arts and Combat Sports on
Hmm.
Instagram.
Okay.
Also, you can follow me on 301 underscore LMBO.
Okay.
And then I also have another company where I'm bringing fight trainers from overseas here, and it's called Champions Corner LLC. And you can follow them on Instagram too. I brought a couple one striking coach from overseas, and I'm also working on another seminar here in America.
Oh man, that's awesome, man,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
that's that's really great that you're kind of able to do that because you're traveling over there, you're building connections, and then you kind of bring them back not only for the people here, but you're probably helping those coaches to get exposure in the United States, which is
yes,
which is something that is a big deal for them, right?
yeah. Because I mean, coaches, in my opinion, I believe that coaches do not get the recognition that fighters get.
Yeah,
They obviously they're kind of like in the shadows a little bit. So I've dealt with some of the best coaches in the planet, and I've have they're personally some of them are my friends,
yeah,
and seeing them, I'm like, wow, like you all need to get the exposure in America. Like and my goal is I don't care about the fame or anything. I want the knowledge to be passed to Americans.
mm,
So when Americans come here, they'll be like, oh, I need to go to Thailand. I see why Thailand looks like it, why people are going.
mm, yeah,
So yeah, exactly. So that's my main thing. If I can share the knowledge, it's free to everybody. But
yeah.
if I can bring it here for people who can't afford to go over there, it's even better.
What
And
are
then on top of
yeah.
that too, some of these coaches come over here for camps for UFC camps, and while they're in the country, I try to make them, see if they can make a little bit of money on the side too.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
great. That's great of you, man, because
yeah,
you're not just a taker, you're a giver, it sounds like too, and you're trying to create opportunity for others. And man, that's an amazing thing. Well,
yeah,
man, I'm excited to see you in there with the little gloves on, throwing
yeah.
some elbows, throwing some knees. I hope training and everything continues to go awesome for you leading up to Cagezilla 85 here, and you stay healthy. Obviously, the most important thing. And man, Erik, thank you for joining us today. I know you got a lot of
Yep,
stuff going on, so I appreciate you
no
joining
problem.
us here
Thank you so
today.
much.
And yeah, we'll see you here come June 28th.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, there you have it. Erik Aguilar will be part of our Boon Chew fight, our exciting Boon Chew fight here coming up on Cagezilla 85, June 28th. Make sure you guys are picking up tickets at cagezillatickets.com. Until next time, signing off, much love and respect. We'll see you guys all very soon.